So I have a story that I wanted to share. This is Graig Graziosi writing for The Independent, and this comes to us from Columbus, Ohio. So the other Columbus, this is from last week. They had graduation at the Ohio State University. Have you been following this? Oh, I'm so happy. This was incredible. So the Ohio State University was solemn on a day meant for celebration. Just hours before the university's commencement was scheduled to begin, an attendee suffered a fatal 136-foot fall off of the stadium.
Jesus.
Yeah. And that's the part that doesn't have more details. The person that we're going to talk about, there's so much information. But I'm like, go back to the person who fell off the stadium.
Yeah. Like that's
How
Were they like on the edge?
I mean, it says 136 feet.
Yeah, so they have to
that's-
have been on the top level and gone off the edge.
So yeah.
there have to be safety precautions to prevent that, right? Like what the fuck?
I mean, hey, don't talk to me. Talk to the Ohio State University.
They're keeping it quiet for legal reasons, I guarantee you.
That's got to be what it is. But at any rate, a horrible tragedy. But with so many families already at the stadium, an estimated 60,000 people, the university decided to go ahead with the ceremony despite the tragedy. So, as always, a commencement speaker was chosen to give words of wisdom to graduating seniors. But 2024 speaker had the extra burden of doing so under a cloud of despair. So this is when you need like an ace in the hole, a real professional. And I should say, like, the Ohio State, like, in the past, they've had Obama spoke at one of their graduations. He's good at talking. Neil Armstrong, I don't know if he's good at talking, but he's at least interesting, you know?
Yeah.
John Glenn, same thing for him. They've had some people in the past that know what they're doing. The speaker for this day, though, Chris Pan.
Who the fuck is Chris Pan?
I'm so happy you asked. Chris Pan is an Ohio State University alumnus who was reportedly handpicked by the university's president to deliver this year's commencement address. Pan, who was born in Taiwan and came to the United States as a child, has served as an advisor for McKinsey. So he's the guy who runs the numbers on your company and sees how many people they're gonna fire. So he's Pete Buttigieg's old job. You know,
geez.
they assess like, okay, so if we topple the democratically elected government of this country, how many people are gonna die? Are you cool with that? Cool. They're the people who run those numbers. So
BAs.
great guy. He was a McKinsey advisor and an early employee at Facebook. So that's where his money came from.
Okay.
He just has such a hell of a pedigree.
I hate this guy. I hate this guy. Spoiler, I hate this guy so much.
You don't say.
According to his website, Chris is now a social entrepreneur.
Ew.
Yeah, good. No, that's the right immediate response.
He's also an investor, a musician, a magician, and a keynote facilitator. This is all from his website, by the way.
Is this his website or a LinkedIn?
Oh, it's
Jesus.
both. Oh, he's a big,
God.
as we're going to see, huge LinkedIn guy. You've never met a huge LinkedIn guy, right?
No.
Not in the wild.
No, they don't exist. Statistically, this man is impossible. But yeah, he claims that he's a keynote facilitator helping 1 billion people find emotional, spiritual, and financial freedom. And on the site, he also says, we will heal, learn, and build a new earth together using evidence-based, proven approaches such as singing.
God.
Such a
Damn it.
Singing and
Kumbaya 24/7.
and intention setting.
Struggle sessions.
We will put theory into practice and we will be the change that we want to see.
This is how Mao killed all
What
the
an
sparrows.
inspiring person for them to have gotten to give the keynote.
Oh,
to give the,
I haven't even
the
got
commencement.
to, got to the inspirational part yet.
I mean, he saved 1 billion people.
A
Well,
billion.
you might be
With
wondering.
singing.
Yeah, it was
And
singing.
intentions.
And magicianship.
and social entrepreneurship. That's somebody who
So
invents
important.
new ways to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. So he does this through his company called My Intent, which sells customizable inspirational wristbands.
What's this man's name again?
Chris Pan.
I hate it. Go on.
James Pot.
Wristbands?
Rick Brazier.
So he's just trying to recapture the Livestrong craze.
Yeah, so they look like shit. It looks like a big washer that you might have to secure two pieces of lumber together. Then he'll like laser emblazon one word is what it says, but there's a caveat. It's like it's up to 14 characters. So if you can figure out a way to split 14 characters into more than one word, cool. And that would be your mantra that you put on this washer from Home Depot that is then secured to the wrist with what looks to be hemp string. And I think they're like $50.
Fucking.
This is the mission statement from My Intent. It says, the My Intent project, and if at any point this makes sense, stop me. The My Intent project is a catalyst for meaningful conversations and positive action.
Oh, boy.
So I mentioned he's going to change the world through singing. I'll just play a little bit from his Chris Pan's SoundCloud here.
He still uses SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah. This song is called Whoa Strings Rock, Chris Pan, and it's just the word whoa. A bunch.
This sounds like, speaking of David Guetta, this sounds like the melody from a David Guetta song. Like,
No, this is like Coldplay if you hit him in the head with a shovel.
So I never listened to Coldplay, so I wouldn't know.
It's not going to stop.
This is actually brilliant.
It just goes on like that.
It goes on for another 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
This is the worst Pink Floyd song I've ever heard. A little hi-hat.
It's so stupid that they're not using this to advertise everything. Just like anything. Whoa.
How many plays does it have?
Oh, great question. What are we looking at? 136?
That's not a billion.
Certainly not a billion.
130 of them are rivers.
Yeah, just this morning. Whoa. Like, it literally is just that for almost 5 minutes. A photo gallery on the website shows Pan engaging a room full of people in sing-alongs to You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones
Come on.
and Ride by 21 Pilots. He also has a section on the website labeled Money Animals.
It's like pay pigs?
I got so excited because I was like, I don't know what this is, but it sounds rad. What's a money animal?
Like
And
cash cats?
Cash cats.
Yeah.
my original thought, like my darkest thought was like, this is the Logan Paul Crypto Zoo rug pull scam, because that's what those were, was the money animals. But no, in a website that appears to be fairly modern, in like almost a Web 1.0 throwback, you click money animals and it's just a picture of a phoenix and it just says Money Phoenix.
That's the best thing that man will ever do.
Yeah, well, and then there's like a paragraph of like nonsense, but you should have just left it at Money Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
I feel like
With a little
this
donut
man-
now button underneath it. Yeah.
Like he cherry picked like a bunch of different aspects of different identities and then put
Yes.
them all together in like a clusterfuck
Oh, 100%.
of terror.
Yeah.
It's like the Elizabeth Holmes thing. Like she just ripped off Steve Jobs. It's like what the entire fucking, entrepreneurial tech industry is just everyone ripping off three guys that no one who wasn't rich would like.
Everybody being a prime example of rich people don't know how they got there.
No.
And shouldn't stay there.
No, this motherfucker was just an early employee in Facebook and he got a stock option.
She's like, no, I'm a genius.
No.
I sing a better world for 1 billion people.
I promise the guy dusting the floors at Facebook in 2004 probably has at least as much money to fuck around with. If they were all offered stock options like this guy, you don't need anything. But yeah, Money Phoenix fucking owns. I loved Money Phoenix.
I'd buy that t-shirt.
Yeah, but I would need like the HTML, like the browser link at the top. Like it's just a straight screenshot.
Hell yeah.
AHREF
Yes.
equals quote
Yeah, there we go.
URL.
HTML code on there. So despite describing himself as an inspirational speaker, Pan had never given a speech to a crowd of the size that he was to face at Ohio State.
I guess that billion people wasn't all at once.
Well, on the website, it's
He's
just...
a keynote facilitator.
Yeah. I'm just the middleman between the keynote address and the adoring audience. The pictures of him doing the sing-alongs, it's a bunch of tech people sitting on a rug, leaning up against each other. And the only reason I know those the songs are, it's because he's doing them karaoke style, and you can see the lyrics in the background. So it's just this asshole with a fucking guitar, and then you just see, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, then you're like, oh, fuck off. If you either have no brain or no conscience,
Or both.
making money is so easy.
Yeah.
If you're just willing to be like, whoa, I'm a facilitator.
But then he watched a woman die, Rivers. He watched a woman.
Clearly he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Oh, we haven't got to the speech yet. That's the best part. That's the meat. This is just the appetizer, everybody.
I realized what happened. It was The Simpsons when Maud Flanders dies from getting hit with a t-shirt cannon. It was a graduation t-shirt, and, and it hit a woman. Off she goes.
Or
that's what happened.
Or someone had time to Google who this guy was. It was like, Money Phoenix, fuck this. So Mr. Pan was nonetheless selected to helm the ceremony. He reportedly thought it was a prank when he first was asked to give the address. So the president calls him and he's like, oh, that's crazy. Wait, really? Moi? Sharing his anxieties in the days leading up to the speech, on LinkedIn, Mr. Pan wrote the following, quote, I tried ChatGPT, but that wasn't good.
What a good example.
He tried to get ChatGPT to write his speech for the kids.
Oh, God.
I tried ChatGPT, but it wasn't that good. Then I got some help from AI, parentheses, ayahuasca intelligence.
Who are you?
The worst man. The kind of guy who would take the most powerful hallucinogen on the planet and just be like, wow, what if I invested in fucking, well, all right, what do people like? Running. Okay, what else do people like? Water shoes, shoes filled with water. Yeah, that's the ticket. So he said he tried ayahuasca intelligence this week to write my commencement speech for 60,000 grads and family members at Ohio State next Sunday. We are in challenging times, and I just wanted to do something extra heartfelt.
Ayahuasca.
I love that.
That's
Just
amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2024, do you see elves? Does anyone else see elves stealing my conscience?
Those machine elves peering out from those cracks in the wall. Yep.
Does anyone else hear my ego being drowned in a river of rainbows? Mr. Pan later edited the post to say that he relied on higher intelligence rather than ayahuasca intelligence, which now makes the pun make no sense.
Really covering his tracks.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Pan approached the podium on Sunday, and what followed has been described as the worst commencement speech in history. That left many audience members stunned.
The
The roughly 17-minute speech. Again, a person is dead in the parking lot of a really fucking crazy reason. The roughly 17-minute speech started out mundanely enough until he encouraged grads to stand up. Quote, I'd like to get started by moving our energy around, just getting our energy flowing. So look, if you're able to, I was like, well, I know one person who's not able to. Please stand and follow my movements. For emotional freedom, I stumbled into singing as a wellness practice after I went through a terrible heartbreak. Every morning, I felt so much sadness and pain, and I considered taking antidepressants, but ultimately just started singing each morning.
You need to
You
be on
psycho.
You gotta go to the doctor, man. You gotta go to the doctor.
Yeah. Do not pass go, take lithium.
He says, I'm not a trained singer. Really? Whoa! but I use it as musical therapy. Mr. Pan then led grads in a breathing exercise that he said was used by Navy SEALs to remain calm in stressful situations. Before asking the crowd to then sing along with them to the tune of 1993's Four Non-Blondes hit, What's Up?
I wanted to be there for that. That sounds awesome.
I will put the video on our Twitter and on our Discord. It's fucking amazing because he does these arm movements.
Is he trying to...
Like, it's sort of the international symbol for like patting your arm to find a vein to do heroin. Like that's the arm movements. Like he ends up doing like big sways, but first he's like, let's get the blood going, huh? And then he sings a song called, And I Got Real High, and he's going like slapping his arms as he sings I Got Real High. And I'm like, dude, read the goddamn room with anything. So after the sing-along, Mr. Pan began talking about investments. Again, a person is dead. Someone has died in the parking lot.
I have a singular question. How many people were supposed to graduate?
So I don't know, but the stadium in the video is fucking. It's a football.
Because I know Auburn's this year was the most it's ever been. It's over 5,000 people. It took 4 fucking days.
Yeah. Well, so there was 60,000 people in the crowd. So if you assume every graduate's rolling, whatever,
at least 4 or 5 deep.
Ohio State. It's a big
school,
big ass school, and this is like May graduation. This isn't like some weird ass September graduation like I had where they just put the president of the university up there as our speaker. They wanted to go all out. Mm-hmm. So after the sing-along, he began talking about investments. Quote, great investors are open-minded and understand things before others. Look, I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind. And then it's this great moment in the video where he pauses and he goes, look, right now I see Bitcoin as a very misunderstood asset class.
Wow, he's just all the hits.
This comment earned loud laughs, boos, and jeers from the crowd.
Good on the kids.
Straight up. I was so proud. You know what? There are times where my old madness is tempting me to talk shit about this next generation, but as soon as I heard 60,000 people boo this fucking idiot, I was like, you go, kids. You do whatever you want. You go to the Electric Daisy Carnival and listen to DJs I don't know. I'll just be old and mad about it. Matt Hall, who was in the crowd, said the speech was so hilariously bad that it was good. Quote, this would be me. Quote, everyone's commencement speech is a bit cringe, but Chris Pan's was memorable, so it rocked. And then I love this. He says, it's funny that my brother had to graduate to this. It's like, you weren't even graduating your speech.
Yeah.
No, I'll give a comment. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Matt Hall. Shout out to Matt, wherever you are. That's hilarious. Others were less forgiving. Laird Wrights on Twitter said, quote, this Ohio State commencement speaker is talking about Bitcoin and somebody is dead. He then moved on to the PowerPoint portion of the show.
Fuck me, really? You're kidding. He had actual... Oh, God.
A fucking PowerPoint about Bitcoin in the middle of this. I've never... I mean...
No.
Look, the only time I watch commencement speeches is if something, crazy or memorable happens. But even in those, where it's like, oh, Conan O'Brien talked to Harvard, it was funny.
Yeah.
He didn't have a fucking PowerPoint. He didn't have the masturbating bear come out in that speech. Like, they don't need props, you weirdo. But yeah, so he had a PowerPoint to go along with crypto commentary. The 8th version of his speech is available to read in its entirety on Google Docs. And one of his footnotes says, quote, move this, meaning the crypto portion of the show, move this to the beginning before the singing so that those who consider themselves alpha males will buy in more.
How is it possible for me to dislike this man more and more?
Hey, before you do all that singing,
Yeah. The alpha males will think that the singing's gay, so
bingo.
you better
He's also on Reddit.
sell them on crypto up front and then get them to sing in the back.
We'll talk numbers first because that's what people like. That's fucking insane. Straight alphas just sit in their office and go, whoa. They don't need Kesha or any of the other 500 acts of the EDC. Another great quote from the speech. Quote, "The most common barriers to investment are 1, fear. 2, laziness. And 3, closed-mindedness."
What a piece of shit.
Money does not appear on that list.
Oh my god!
What a piece of shit.
What an absolute piece of shit.
You know, the most common barrier to my investment was not working at Facebook in 2004.
Yeah, same.
That's a big boy. If we could have all just actually, yeah, if the entire world could have worked at Facebook in 2004, that's kind of what we would need for about money to be where it's at.
It's our generation's version of if I could give the world a Coke.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Jesus, dude. He then told the crowd he was getting them all bracelets from his entrepreneurial company. My intent.
And we all get bracelets.
This man brought 60,000 bracelets.
No. It's a rug pull. It's a scam.
He lied to these people
Now we'll
about
be
giving
friends
them bracelets.
So he said he was getting everyone bracelets and as a daily reminder for their goals for spiritual and personal growth, noting that details about the bracelets were going to be coming via email. You know how when you graduate college, they famously let you keep your email. Yeah, we'll get back to you about those bracelets, everybody. Also, just in case you were wondering, he on his what do y'all think he has on his bracelet?
Whoa!
Yeah, it should be whoa.
No, Money Phoenix.
Money Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be cool, Nick. His word on his bracelet, it's just an ampersand to stand stand as a reminder that racism.
What the? No.
You don't get to be cool now.
He says it's a reminder that racism, and this is his quote, well, it's just not cool. Like, you need a reminder? Why do you need to every day he's about to be racist and he looks at his wrist and there's an and symbol. He's like, oh yeah, we're in this together. Yeah. And then he does the international symbol for trying to find a vein.
This is his reminder to look at his bracelet.
It's fucking, I love this guy. He bookended the speech with yet another sing-along, this time choosing This Little Light of Mine.
Oh.
So if this couldn't get worse, one OSU graduate captured the feeling of the crowd during a speech in a video posted to TikTok. Mr. Pan can be heard singing in the background as students laugh at him and appear bewildered. It's a great video. It's just a scowling girl with the front-facing camera, and then you just see a bunch of people just being like, what the fuck is happening? There's one great shot at the beginning where he tells everyone, he's like, all right, now start bouncing up and down. And there's one lady who is clearly drunk already, just fucking going for it while everyone else is just like, no. There's a dead woman in the parking lot. No. Reporters at Ohio State University's independent newspaper, the Rooster, shout out to the fucking Rooster. They did a bang up job on this one. Well, they were left wondering, how did this happen? According to sources who spoke to the publication on the condition of anonymity for fear of backlash from the university, said that it happened because Ohio State University's president, Walter Edward Ted Carter, wanted it to happen.
It sounds like a cool guy with a nickname like that.
He is... I can't... It's one of those where I'm like, he's obviously probably did this guy's... Like, they brought him in to do one of these speeches, and he was like, you're wonderful. Like, he's probably the stupidest guy on the planet. He's like, tell me more about this money, Phoenix. Like, he is just... He's either...
Like, while the speech is going, he tucks his little bracelet up his sleeve so that no one can see it.
I love that the president of one of the largest universities in the United States is just a rube.
Yeah,
Yes.
The revelation was especially troubling after Mr. Pan revealed on a now inaccessible social media post that Mr. Carter sits on the board of directors for TerraWolf, a Bitcoin mining company.
TerraWolf?
TerraWolf.
Like Terra The Earth Wolf.
WULF. Miles.
Wolf.
A Bitcoin mining
Yeah.
company.
That's a DeviantArt username. That's not a company.
Yeah, probably not a lot of SPQRs. Yeah.
The original social media post can be viewed at the Rooster. Quote, and this is Pan. This is the guy who says, "I'm with at Ohio State Prez right now. He is on the board of a zero carbon Bitcoin mining company, TerraWolf,
Which is nonsense.
Yeah, no, that means nothing.
and daughter does psychedelic assisted therapy." So the Venn diagram of Chris's interests are, man, he's found his soulmate. If Chris Pan isn't already married, he needs to
marry the
fucking
president.
marry the president of Ohio State University. You found your man. The assistant vice president of media and public relations for Ohio State told The Independent that Mr. Pan was on this year's nomination list. So typically, commencement speakers at OSU are picked by the Ohio State Speaker Advisory Committee. The committee creates a short list of candidates and sends them to the university's president, and the president has the final say. His final say this year,
Was not
Chris motherfucking Pan, baby. That was the only choice on that list.
Oh, God.
And so they're claiming that like the first time these guys ever met was like the day before this event. So there's like nothing dirty. And they're like, oh, well, it's very common for university presidents to sit on public and private boards. It's like, okay, so then you're just admitting this man is a fucking idiot. It's like, it's almost every news story in America where you're like, are they idiots or evil? Like every...
Yeah, both is true most of the time.
It is a Venn diagram.
To which degree? To which
Right.
degree?
Is the smart guy pulling on the evil guy, or is the evil guy pulling on or the stupid guy, I should say. Every story is a Coen Brothers movie, basically, now. Dumb versus evil. So, well, really dumb and evil versus us. Bitcoin enthusiasts on social media made clear that they approved of Pan's speech.
That checks
Do they
out.
also approve of the Cybertruck?
A verified Twitter account called the Bitcoin Therapist, so definitely not biased here in any way,
Yeah.
shared a clip of Mr. Pan's speech, including the booze and the mention of Bitcoin, and celebrated the address. Quote, OSU graduate Chris Pan takes ayahuasca to write his commencement speech and then tells 60,000 people to buy Bitcoin to protect their purchasing power, the account wrote. What a fucking legend. Unsurprisingly, this account is verified. Another commented on Chris's LinkedIn page. Quote, I heard the booing, Chris, but honestly, I thought the kids were booing your mention of BlackRock more than they were booing you. I'm like, yeah, that's like, they're saying Bruce, not boo.
But boo earns.
Yeah, boo earns. Yeah. And then they continue. And yes.
They were booing that you brought up BlackRock.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You skipped over BlackRock.
That's in there. It's a long speech. Because I think he did consulting for them in McKinsey or something. Yeah.
This guy sucks so bad.
Oh yeah, he's everything. And this commenter says, and yes, something is going to crack with the fiat system, no doubt. I would bet on your advice over the government's, that's for sure. And I'm like, Bitcoin is also fiat. It doesn't exist. The reason that United States money is worth anything is because we have a fucking army to back it up. The internet doesn't have an army. It's just for buying drugs. That's all it's for.
And pornography.
And shit. Yeah. It's
And now most of it is bots, so.
right. Yeah. And it's all bots.
It's just
and,
bots selling each other drugs and pornography.
Right. Yeah. It's bots and occasionally Drake, allegedly. Woof. But yeah,
circle of
so
life.
to get them back on his side, Pan then performed a magic trick.
I can't tell if he's a child or if he's treating everyone like a child.
Right? I was working on this shit for a while, and I'm like, I can't figure out, is this the dumbest guy ever? Or like a pretty smart guy who knows the right idiots to target?
Or just with a guy with a childlike sense of wonderment.
What
Man.
magic trick did he? And then I pulled some cryptocurrency out of a hat.
So it said that it's right after the booing. I couldn't watch the 17-minute long video. It's in there somewhere. The Independent didn't go into detail as to what the trick was, but
Finger trick.
Yeah, it's not. It's just he's still on ayahuasca.
I was going to say the president of Ohio State University is still looking for his notes. Because Pan.
Where is it?
Where's my goddamn nose, Pan? Get me Pan. Pan. It's the president of Ohio State University. Give me my goddamn nose.
Yes, I will give you Bitcoin for it.
Okay, I'll look behind my ear. What? Goddamn it! Where's that? Why is there a quarterback here? How did you do that?
Caca, Money Phoenix.
Yes, I'd love to join the Order of the Money Phoenix. An anonymous university official who spoke to the Rooster said that Mr. Pan was, quote, the worst person I have ever had to work with in my life in regards to preparing the commencement speech. Pan,
let me hear the writers.
Pan reportedly declined to remove what can only be described as a, quote, shirtless dance number.
Yes.
So, in order to give this speech, he had to present what he was going to say to, and whoever this is the guy who leaked the final version to Google Docs. You can just read the final version that he emailed to him with all these fucking hilarious footnotes about being like, do the money before the gay stuff. Like, but yeah, he had to submit this, and they were like giving him notes like, no, you can't rip your shirt off at a commencement speech. Also, you're wearing those doctoral robes. It would take forever, and you might trip. The source also revealed that earlier drafts of the speech included his opinions on Israel and Palestine.
Oh, boy.
OSU.
Only imagine.
Because you know who's going to solve it.
This guy. Please let him talk to the IDF.
Just sit him down with Benjamin Netanyahu and whoever it is from Hamas and let him solve it.
Yeah. Why does it gotta be volunteers from the World Kitchen? They do good shit that get fucking nuked by Israel. Let this guy try to hand out bracelets on the streets of Rafah.
Man, Jimmy Carter ain't shit. I can do this.
Yeah. It's got an ampersand. It means togetherness. Oh, Jesus.
If I can't get naked and talk about the war, then what am I gonna do?
Like, I hate him, but then you get to shit like this. You're like, actually, if he had done that, he might have flipped me to he rocks. Actually,
puts his hand on a refugee child's shoulder
Yeah.
and says, "Your animal is the not dying phoenix."
They decided that would be a bad idea because last week Ohio State University used the Ohio State Patrol to beat the shit out of a bunch of protesters. They're like, hey, maybe
decision that'll be remembered on the right side of history. I'm sure.
Exactly. Yep. Mr. Pan is still proud of the message that he delivered. Even today, he told The Independent that he has received positive feedback and explained his thinking heading into the graduation ceremony. Quote, I have someone posting on Instagram that I have delivered the most actionable graduation advice in the history of humanity.
Actionable?
Actionable.
That's what it says. And I was like, I don't think, I mean, I get that English is a second language, but man, come on, dude.
Imagine spending 4 years in college and then you have this psycho just be like, buy cryptocurrency.
And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to tell this guy. That was so actionable. The most actionable advice that anyone has ever given at a university commencement.
I just love that he says
graduate.
Yeah. If you were in the crowd, you're like, yeah, no, give me the $60,000 back.
And he's talking to a bunch of college students who will probably not pay off their student loan debts until they're in their 40s at this rate. And he's like, well, the number one barrier to investment is obviously fear.
Fear, cowardice, and being a little bitch.
Fuck off.
Not having my cool ass bracelet.
But guess what, guys? I'm hooking you up with a bracelet. Go ahead, pick a word.
Look up your shares.
Actually, man, if someone wants to buy me a Money Phoenix bracelet from this guy, I will wear it.
Come on, Patreon patrons.
Yeah, come on. My birthday's in July, Discord.
You should make that a tier on Patreon.
Oh, that'd be an awful. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's our next drive.
God damn it.
That's our next drive to get fucking iTunes reviews.
I am
Whoever
so sorry,
has the
everybody.
funniest one, I'm gonna send them a goddamn Money Phoenix bracelet. Okay,
God.
13 letters. That fits. It's 14
shit.
characters. Money Phoenix. Done.
It sounds like a graphic you would share on Facebook and be like, if you share this 5 times, the Money Phoenix bless you.
Oh yeah, the Money
And
Phoenix.
all the boomers are like, yeah!
Yeah. In 1 week, you will kiss your true love after a visit from the Money Phoenix. Share this on 15 videos and hit F6. So he continues here somehow. He's reporting a comment that he saw. He says, this guy just summarized everything in 10 minutes what I've spent 20 years learning the hard way. I was like, if you watch this, it is gaga doo-doo nonsense. Like,
This poor 30 years grinding away to learn something.
Yeah.
And he's like, wasted.
yeah.
Time wasted. He kicks over his manifesto. He's just, time wasted.
Yeah, I could have just listened to Pan sing CeeLo's Forget You, and this would have cured everything. My God. I could have sat on a woven rug with a gray-haired man from fucking Santa Rosa.
Lisa wouldn't have divorced me and taken the kids.
How old is this dude?
I think he's, let's see.
I guess nothing.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's a good question. I don't know, but he worked at Facebook when they first opened in like the mid 2000s. So chances are he's probably a little older. He's probably in his mid 40s, I would say.
He could be a toddler and that would still check out for me.
Oh yeah.
This dude is timeless. I don't.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I had many people tell me how much fun and enjoyable of an experience that was compared to the typical speech. Like, it's fun and enjoyable in the way The Room is fun and enjoyable. You're like, this is a nightmare that I'm living right now. He says, I fucking hate this guy. I go from like loving him to hating him every sentence. We live in a heavy world and we all need to breathe, move, sing, and meditate. I've been giving corporate speeches for over a decade, and also I have interactivity as part of the experience. And it's like, the problem wasn't the singing. The problem was that you were on this stage at all trying to inspire people by singing Four Non-Blondes.
And then this little light of mine. The most logical follow-up.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah. So let's wow them with something modern from 30 years ago, and then we'll bring in a good old civil rights anthem just to get everybody around and thinking about my ampersand bracelet that tells me not to be racist every morning. Oh my God. Yeah. So anyway, shout out to Chris Pan for doing the worst commencement speech
I
ever.
think it would have been fine if he could take his shirt off. I think it's
I would have tied it all together.
I hate to say it, I'd be putting him over. If he did that, I'd be like, actually, that's
Team
awesome.
Chris.
The rest of you is crazy, but that's hilarious. Because it's supposed to be the kids streaking, not the speaker. That's the joke, is you don't wear anything under the robes, and then you run across the stage and show your ass. Come on. Man.
Or you're just drunk.
Yeah,
Like
no.
that was in my commencement.
Who was your commencement?
Some random motherfucker. I'm so mad about it because the year before it was Patterson Hood.
Oh, at University of North Alabama?
University of North Alabama.
Fucking A.
That was awesome. I actually went to that. But for mine, for winter of 2011, it was some rando they pulled, and he would just did kind of like this. He's like, when I was on the set with Don Cheadle.
Wait, was it like a producer or something?
I guess. I've never heard of this motherfucker before. And every professor I talked to afterwards, like at after parties, they're like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck that was. That was the worst one I've ever seen.
Just
I've been
making
for
up
40
shit.
fucking years. Yeah.
Back when I was Iron Man. I was Iron Man with Don Cheadle. He was the war machine.
Last night when I was talking to Chris Pine.
Weirdest thing, I was in a convenience store with Don Cheadle and someone shot me in the head.
So I thought mine was pretty bad. This sounds a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, you also graduated at a weird time. This is prime time. Let's be real. May, this is when you're supposed to pull out Obama or an astronaut or some shit. Not this crazy guy that the president has fallen under his cult-like spell.
I can't remember who spoke at my graduation. I just remember they played that song from the Showman movie, The Biggest Showman.
Oh, The Greatest Show on Earth?
Yeah, The Greatest Showman.
The Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, with Hugh Jackman. And
What?
the one about how you can have like 1,000 dreams or something.
Well, that's that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Though. That's okay.
It was just very normal.
And then a shirtless magician threw doves at the crowd.
Yeah.
Who
They
turned
were
into
all
money
dead.
phoenixes and rained dollar symbols down.
Is this a thing in Australia? Like when you graduate, do you?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I never graduated shit in my life.
Oh, okay, right on. I'm just wondering, like, do you got fucking Brian Johnson up there?
Really? Like, yeah, like if there was a famous alumnus from the school, they'd try and pull on him real hard, or a musician or something.
Okay, yeah.
But not really. It was
Okay.
less of a thing, yeah. America's like all about pageantry, and I guess like this is part of that as well.
Totally.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just trying to pull some sort of attention into the thing that they're doing at the.
I would like if for the Australia commencement they had an animal expert.
Oh,
They're like, look guys, it's a camel, or look guys, it's a bird. It's fucking crazy. Like that would be better than this.
yeah, would. Oh man, I wish. Yeah.
All right, who wants to touch a
Go get a degree
rhinoceros?
so I can pat an emu. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I wanted to be one of the dudes from the Renaissance Festival who has like the big ass bird.
Oh,
Medieval garb.
got like the condor.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that'd be gnarly.
Got the hat with all the holes in it to get fucked by a falcon.
There we go. Yeah, have a falconry expert just summon birds.
Bird humping his head while he's talking.
Yeah. Look, guys, your first year of college is a lot like a barn owl.